B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Along with Steve Jones, Bill Walton, and Hannah Storm, we welcome you to NBA action here on NBC. Earvin Magic Johnson hoping to lead his revitalized Lakers to what has become a rare victory over the San Antonio Spurs.
What Del Harris really needs from his team is to contain Avery Johnson, to stay with the three-point shooters that the Spurs have on the perimeter, and then jam the middle inside against David Robinson.
This is Johnson and Robinson trying to execute the pick and roll. It doesn't go. Robinson's jumper misses, and the Lakers' Magic Johnson has the rebound.
This is the matchup to look for, whether Sean Elliott can really make Magic Johnson become a scorer. If he becomes a passer, the Lakers then have a better chance of winning the ball game because they'll get everybody involved in the game.
The passer that sets him apart from everybody else in basketball.
Eldon Campbell. And Robinson comes away with it. Avery Johnson with a nice pass for Robinson.
Now that is the strength of the San Antonio attack. With David Robinson, the fastest of all the centers in the NBA, beating people down the floor.
Game strategy, according to Bob Hill.
Robinson draws the foul. Eldon Campbell with his first personal.
Fans, and they're late arriving, they wanted a travel on David Robinson, but right now Eldon Campbell is got the assignment of trying to contain David Robinson, and Robinson looks aggressive at the outset of this game. They're not down enough to where you can say this guy's having a letdown.
I think he's a better player this year, Greg, than he was last year when he was the MVP.
He certainly likes his team's play better than he did a year ago. Shot clock is down to 8. Johnson looks down low to Divac. Spins on Charles Smith, doesn't go, tapped up and in.
Actually, David Robinson tipped that one in. Vlade Divac will get credit for it, but he did everything but finish the shot the first time around.
Vlade, a very good shot blocker. This is the 4th best shot blocking team, the Lakers, in the NBA.
Magic was the first Laker on the court today, putting up 3-pointers, and Avery Johnson puts one up as he goes all the way for 2. Magic comes across the lane, goes to the left hand, and it won't fall. Ball comes back to him, his feed to Eldon Campbell, batted away, and here's Del Negro.
Robinson's playing terrific defense down deep.
Elliott, stop and go, got it.
You can tell which team has command of their game, and that is the San Antonio Spurs in hope right now.
The Lakers just aren't used to having Magic be left alone, not being double teamed. There's too much automatic double teaming in the NBA these days.
Divac makes the hook go down. Only the second field goal of the game for the Lakers.
Avery Johnson taking advantage of the Lakers' poor transition defense.
Van Exel on Avery Johnson. AJ back over to Charles Smith for the jumper.
This is the kind of game where Avery Johnson will shine, and all the emphasis on Magic Johnson. David Robinson, Del Harris needs a timeout to get his team sharpened up. Avery Johnson, the key to this early game surge by the Spurs.
We get a timeout on the floor. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
I'm rapping now. I didn't know how to rap before I got here. I'm saying sayings that I've never said before. Now when we get in the huddle, we jump up and got the little thing going on here. This old man trying to stay on rhythm, stay on the rap, and it's like I come home now. I said, Cookie, I done learned 3 or 4 new things today, you know, and this has nothing to do with basketball. yo, baby, yo, yeah. I'm coming. If I don't, they leave me behind, so I got to come on with it.
But the Lakers have also learned from Magic, learned about winning, learned about passing the ball around, learned about shot selection. When they average 26 years of age per player.
This is where they have their most effect, is when they can get him down on the post and he has a chance to overpower his opponent or have somebody cut to the basket. He breaks Sean Elliott down, and Sean lets him get too deep, and he uses his strength to get that shot off, and it's an opportunity to break the run that the Spurs were on.
Magic Johnson's first basket of the afternoon. He goes to the line to make it 3 and does.
I was talking to Magic yesterday about his footwork at the low post.
He's going to have trouble. Magic is now going to have to play power forward and try to get shots away against Charles Smith. It's going to be tough.
Magic 1 out of 5 from the floor. Charles Smith stops and hits.
Charles Smith has the mobility playing against these two bigger Laker guys, either Vlade or Eldon Campbell, where Charles Smith, who's so much happier in the Western Conference, playing for the LA Clippers years ago.
Spurs with an 8-point lead. Ceballos for 3. Lakers still fighting the cold start. Avery Johnson changes direction on Nick Van Exel again.
Avery Johnson is tap dancing on Nick Van Exel, and Van Exel is walking the ball up the floor. What he's got to do is come back at Avery Johnson. He cannot let Avery Johnson grow in confidence, because the strength of San Antonio is running the ball.
Vlade Divac keeps after it and taps it home after the nice feed from Eddie Jones.
Magic has become one of the game's great free throw shooters.
That's a goaltending call against David Robinson, who thought he got to it before it got to the backboard.
Ceballos moving without the basketball, and that's really the strength of his game. Flurry, and the Lakers need someone to keep them close in the game. That could be Cedric Ceballos.
David Robinson, nice move on Divac. 7 for Robinson, and the Spurs get it back. Del Negro.
Bob Hill.
Bob Hill says, we just did nothing right Friday night against the Bullets.
So far, they've done everything right, and they've got the Lakers on their heel. Person comes out, drains a 3.
Just an NBA history.
Magic waited for the double team, passed off. Ceballos, too strong. Rebound Robinson.
Every shot, every pass is being contested by San Antonio, and the Lakers just aren't moving the ball and moving people quick enough.
Charles Smith is having a very solid defensive game early on.
Robinson with the shot clock at 10, spins on Divac again.
And David Robinson is having his way, and this reminds us of how he was treated against Elijah Wan. I mean, he is really blowing by.
Van Exel for Ceballos. And look how quickly Avery Johnson brings the Spurs back.
Got to get into this game at the offensive end. They need his quickness, his ability to take the ball inside.
Got a nice pass back, puts it up, no, tipped in by Ceballos.
Matchup, Magic Johnson being guarded by David Robinson. David's going to really look to try to clog up the middle whenever he can.
Divac.
Vlade coming off a triple-double, the 4th of his career against Vancouver here at the Great Western Forum. He's 4 of 7 shooting. The rest of the Lakers ice cold.
David Robinson off the feet from Avery Johnson.
Steve, you picked it up quick. The Magic Johnson-David Robinson matchup. They're guarding each other on both ends. Bro, Avery's got 2 late points in the opening quarter.
Keeler for 3. Keeler was 4 out of 6 from behind the 3-point line Friday night against Vancouver. Johnson's shot no good, and Magic with the rebound. 20 seconds for the quarter. Divac. And the foul. Magic Johnson was telling us yesterday that he has impressed upon Nick Van Exel the value of pushing the ball up the court, and he did it just there.
No one has ever done that better. Getting the ball in the backcourt and just driving it. And here's a guy, Magic, without great foot speed, without great leaping ability, but his sense of timing and spacing.
Lakers down 3 with 15 seconds to play.
Vlade Divac is certainly the guy of the moment. Even though he's missed a couple of gimmies inside, he's been the offensive force for them here in the first quarter of play.
Trying to force it down low. It didn't go. Divac to Magic Johnson at the buzzer. No, he won't get it off. But a strong end to the first quarter brings the Lakers back into this battle. David Robinson and Vlade Divac with 11 apiece. The lines have been drawn in the pivot. San Antonio 26, the Lakers 23. We'll be back for the second quarter from the Great Western Forum in a moment. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Rather than on yesterday, just tremendous.
Down to a one-point game, and a foul is called. Foul is on Sedale 3. Here is the Lakers general manager, Jerry West.
West is so nervous and anxious about games that he never sits. He always stands and kind of hides, and depending on how things are going, we know that his number has been retired for some years, and they'll never see another one like him.
Well, the Lakers, who were down at one point by 13 at 24-11, now with a chance to take the lead for the first time.
San Antonio continues to jump in the air to pass the ball. Terrible mistake of fundamental basketball.
Keeler, another three.
One of the problems that the Lakers have, electricity that Ceballos brings, that instant offense.
Campbell spins. Won't fall. Purdue with the rebound.
They have missed more layups today. They're still thinking about David Robinson, who's on the bench.
Del Negro open for two. Over the stretch of the last several minutes, the Lakers have outscored the Spurs 17-4. Ceballos.
Sean Elliott's trying to stay in the game. He does not want a replay of the Washington game where he never got any game rhythm. He's given up too deep a position. Charles Smith against Ceballos by the basket. Missed it.
That ball was blocked.
By the rim. Blocked by anything by the rim.
Foul is on Doc Rivers. It's number 1 on Rivers. Let's go back.
You watch this ball go in. Charles Smith gathers him, but his weight is going back. He just hits the front of the rim.
That's the New York self-check that we saw in that Chicago series. 4 times unable to convert.
Lynch from the side.
This second squad is the group that got the Lakers going in the game against Vancouver Friday night. Scoring for the Lakers has been a huge key as Del Negro misfires. The last 5 games for the Lakers, the bench has contributed 40 points a game on almost 50% shooting. That's a great contribution.
Ceballos. Big time by Eldon Campbell.
You got to come back to David Robinson. You're going to lose control of this game. The Lakers a great front-running team.
Robinson, Avery Johnson, Chuck Person all off the bench. Elliott shot no good. Elliott has the loose ball, goes up again and scores.
About him yesterday, the different strength is a great combination of guys to play with Magic.
Lakers have out-rebounded the Spurs 17-10. Sean Elliott, and that's 2 straight now for Elliott. Lakers by 2, coming up on 8 minutes to play here in the first half. Eldon Campbell gets Robinson in the air and then scores.
Eldon Campbell killed the Spurs in the playoffs last year. That series won by San Antonio 4-2, but Eldon averaged almost 19 points a game in that series.
Robinson with the easy follow on Johnson's miss. 2 again, 36-34.
But the 2 teams, the Los Angeles Lakers, easily need this game more than the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are coming off with a great run.
And Chuck Person guilty of the foul after the shot.
And they know that they can get themselves back together. They'd like to finish the season strong.
Are going to feel that loss today with both their big guys in foul trouble.
Right at the rim, David Robinson. This one's too easy.
So Divac gets Robinson, but you're right. All Robinson did was float across the lane and took the easy feed.
The defense is too soft on the passer, so they're able to just pick him apart. They dump it up high. Magic too soft on the guy up high, and David Robinson able to just move in. Didn't look like any contact by Vlade.
When you hit someone across the arms, is that contact?
No, I was on the ball, Steve. But give David Robinson credit for moving and staying active. He's not just bullying his way to the hoop.
Want to get the ball back to David Robinson against Vlade Divac. It's taking too much time.
And the weak side is standing for San Antonio.
Shot clock now at 6. Chuck Person for 3. And the Spurs get something out of nothing.
Chuck Person, the third leading three-point shooter in the history of the NBA. So valuable, leading candidate for 6th man of the year.
This is a guy that Magic can score on. Chuck Person can't deal with Magic. Little quick moves inside. It's going to be difficult. They should try to go to that matchup a little bit more. He stopped playing and looked good.
Person for 3.
Again, Del Harris all yesterday. Contain Avery and stay with three-point shooters. That time it worked only because Chuck Person rimmed out on the 3.
Vlade Divac. He has 13. And the Lakers lead 43-38.
I thought last year Vlade had his best season. The second half of the season, he's playing like he did all last year.
Lakers have come back to take charge in this one, and we're coming back to the Great Western Forum in just a moment. Ceremony.
It's a special time when they recognize you for what you did for the school, for the franchise.
Chuck Person, another 3. 3 3-pointers this afternoon for Chuck Person.
Because he has given up some open opportunity to Chuck Person. They got to close him down because Person's got the torch going. He's only missed one of those 3.
Johnson just plain lost that one. Just gave it up to Nick Van Exel and then drew the foul.
Avery Johnson has a low turnover ratio, but today he's already equaled that. He just has not been able to stay sharp. He's had his best success against the Lakers when he is just pushing the ball and making something happen in the setup. He's just throwing it away. Those are unforced turnovers.
Hardly at all. They're second in the league all season long, though. The last 6 games, under 10 per game turnovers.
Johnson for Robinson and taps it home. David Robinson real close to the basket, a lot closer than Divac would like to let it.
Nice thing about David Robinson, 0 fouls on the game.
Robinson is down and hurting, holding his what appears to be his right hand. Lynch, and Robinson came back and fouled him. And now it would appear to be more of a groin injury for Robinson. Let's go back and take a look.
Ouch.
So Robinson still trying to walk it off.
That's the way you come to the hoop? Knee high?
Knee high. Lead with the knee, get the off arm out there. Campbell. Magic was telling us yesterday how he thinks the team is best when they go with the smaller lineup. It allows him to play at the power forward position where he can utilize his skills more effectively than having to play totally on the perimeter.
And you got a penetrating opportunity for Avery Johnson. You know, that just clear his side. He couldn't finish the play, but he got to the hoop.
Van Exel, a little stop and go off the glass.
Avery Johnson is not having a good game.
Now Robinson goes to work on Divac across the lane.
Vlade's letting him get way, way too deep, and all of his baskets are 3 feet and in. That's going to be an easy time for David Robinson and the Spurs in the second half.
Van Exel.
I don't think you let David Robinson take 3 and 4 dribbles coming to his left hand into his rhythm shot.
Good job defensively.
As you see Nick Van Exel put 2 more on the board for the Lakers, they'll have time to think about it.
Lakers are going to have a tough time in the first round.
I don't think there is anyone who doesn't believe that the Houston Rockets, however badly they've been beaten up over the last month and a half, aren't going to come out with all guns smoking in the postseason.
Drexler is playing again. Mario Ellie playing again. Hakeem will be back soon. So things are going to be fine for Houston.
Jones tried to lay it off for Divac, and a foul is called
Chuck Person.
On Chuck Person. 27.5 a game. Today they've totaled 8 points so far.
Well, Avery got off to a good start, and then he hasn't been able to score the ball, but he's been able to make some good decisions. There's one to Sean Elliott. But they're trying to concentrate on getting Sean Elliott in the game, and they know they'll need him.
Eddie Jones comes back, comes up short on his jumper. We're down to a minute 50 to play.
Excuse me, Greg. Laker guards are very good defensively. David Robinson is perfect with it. Now that's Avery Johnson's key to getting out of this mini slump that he's in today. Make simple plays.
Peeler. And Elliott comes back.
2 for 1 if they go quick right here.
Now they had a mismatch, and they still do, with David Robinson against Anthony Peeler, and they get the foul. One of the keys in really being successful in transition is recognizing when you have an advantage, and suddenly Anthony Peeler, somehow the first guy back, is ending up with David Robinson. No shot there. That's a sign of greatness, is consistency. David Robinson has been delivering those numbers the entire season, and the team has won.
Illegal defense call. That call goes against Robinson.
And Van Exel, who can beat Avery Johnson off the dribble, should be the guy to set it up.
Shot clock down to 5. Loses the handle. Van Exel throws it up. Not the way that it was drawn up, but you look at the men in the middle and what they've done in this game. David Robinson, 22-6. Vlade Divac, 13-7. We're coming back with the Prudential halftime report in just a moment. The Lakers 57, San Antonio 55.
And it would tell him it's too late, but he's got Magic Johnson on him.
Here comes Van Exel. And Ceballos in the starting lineup for the second half. The layup by Van Exel doesn't fall. He comes back, gives to Jones.
Charles Smith again. Very strong start to the half.
Del Negro. And we're tied at 57.
The opening period, San Antonio dominated. David Robinson was magnificent. Then they took him out.
Like that's a long rest, huh?
The shot clock is at 4, and now 3. And taken away. Nice pass from Avery Johnson to Del Negro.
That's where they started the ball game, in transition, and got control of the game. Crowd unruly here. They finally are filling in all the seats.
All the way over to Avery Johnson. Shot clock is at 6. Charles Smith across the lane. Layup doesn't go. And a foul called by Mike Mathis on Magic Johnson.
To regain his offensive confidence, he's starting to play the position really where he plays best. That's a power forward.
Playing as a power forward.
Oh, good look back by Divac, and a shot blocked from behind.
Eddie Jones took too long, and he hasn't been able to crank it up and get into this game.
Smith loses it in the dribble. Van Exel for Eddie Jones. Got the bucket and the foul. That's a heck of a shot by Eddie Jones.
Floating behind the backboard, reaches back to throw it up. Looked like a tough pass, almost a bad pass by Van Exel, too far out in front. It made him extend.
Del Harris likes the result. Three-point play. We are tied at 60.
Eddie Jones is one of those versatile players, 6'7".
They double on David Robinson.
Avery Johnson from outside, and Divac with the rebound.
They're going to try to make Avery Johnson beat him from the perimeter whenever they can. Van Exel.
Couple of friendly bounces on the rim, and the Lakers lead at 62-60. Under 8 minutes to play here in the third. Van Exel has 8.
And the Lakers have done a good job of keeping Avery off rhythm all day long. They haven't had a chance. And Vlade comes over and slaps it out of there. But Avery has not been able to race up and down the court. It's all been set offense. It's all been post-up action. Vlade, really one of the league's better shot blocking centers.
Second block of the day for Vlade Divac. Charles Smith off the mark. Here come the Lakers with the ball and a 2-point lead. Magic for 3. Lakers by 5.
That time David Robinson matched up with Magic. He goes to his 3-point game.
Magic Johnson, David way back in the paint all day to shoot that one.
Ceballos tried to throw that one up on his way down. Charles Smith behind the back. Avery Johnson off the baseline, and boy, has this game picked up in intensity now.
The Spurs have been able to run. They've been able to control the game. When they've had to set up, they've had trouble finding David Robinson for the score from the first period on.
Jones. Eddie Jones.
Look at the difference in strategy for San Antonio.
Lakers by 3 as we come up on 5.5 to play in the third.
Steve, you said when they run. The Lakers have done a terrific job today of keeping the Spurs from running, forcing them to play half court.
Oh, what a pass from Eldon Campbell for Cedric Ceballos.
Continuing to double team at this point. Why double team Eldon Campbell? The guy's got 7 points.
They told us, and they told Hannah, that they weren't going to do it, but that's what they've done here in the second half. Now, there's an example of an unforced turnover. No pressure. David Robinson just threw the ball too low. Person had the deep ball going early. We'll see if he can get it back. His assignment at the defensive end is against Magic Johnson. Magic's going to go inside and really try to use his ability to get shots off against him.
Elliott comes over for the double team, and the Lakers swing it to Eddie Jones for 3.
The impact of Magic Johnson. They double team him in the low post. His game is passing. He kicks it out. They swing it to the weak side. That's too easy.
Person looking for the shot, can't find it. Robinson got the basket and the foul.
For the basket, David Robinson.
Spurs, Smith, Sean Elliott, Will Perdue, Chuck Person all have 4. All have 3.
Andy, though, did get up on a team bus in Atlanta on this last East Coast road trip and say he was sorry to his teammates. They accepted that and have moved on.
Robinson. Nice shot by David Robinson. David Robinson now with 27 on the afternoon. 73-69 Lakers. Magic thought about the 3. Sets up Divac. Blocked by Robinson. Shot clock is at 8. Van Exel for Jones. Another 3. Eddie Jones had 26 Friday night against Vancouver, 14 so far this afternoon.
Now he's having the same kind of third period that he had for them against Vancouver when the team was struggling. He suddenly woke up. He has 11 here in the quarter. David Robinson short on that one.
Magic says, I got it, and comes up court for Eddie Jones. Magic Johnson taking charge.
The intelligence of Magic, taking it right to the middle in front of David Robinson. Now, David Robinson, I'm sure, is a faster player than Magic Johnson. But if we look at the overhead view, you see Magic cut him off, and then once he's got you on his hip, you're just dead. And Magic finding guys beautifully behind the ball, running the lane. Lakers putting on a clinic offensively right now.
But the Bulls Magic only on NBC.
Yeah, Eddie Jones is the guy of the moment, and he's the offensive hero, and San Antonio needs to find one. David Robinson, 2 tips. He's got 7 in the quarter.
And David Robinson with 29 on the afternoon. Eddie Jones with the hot hand the last few minutes, and the nice pass to Divac, who overshot the basket. Nice pass from David Robinson to Chuck Person.
Well, we've seen some great examples of moving without the basketball. The difference is Vlade's not finishing his.
Lakers. Peeler. Almost threw it away. Recovered by Lynch. And the shot clock is at 7.
The Lakers have now gotten confused. They had a pretty good rhythm going. Tough shot by Divac. Roll that one underneath David Robinson's arm. That's his first score of the second half. 5-point game, Greg.
First shot. And didn't get the last one at the quarter as well.
80-71. 9-point Laker lead. Steal by Lynch. 3-on-1. Keeps it and scores.
The mistake that the San Antonio Spurs made is they got very predictable about where they wanted to go with the ball. They wanted to get it to Sean Elliott, and they just telegraphed the pass.
Robinson. This time Lynch comes over and commits the foul as he comes over to help out Divac.
It works Sean Elliott, who's been ineffective off his own dribble. That time he can't even get the ball in the first place. Sean, I don't know why he wants to post up against a bigger, stronger George Lynch. Get moving. Come off some screens. Del Harris loves the defensive overplay.
Well, the two coaches clapping their hands, the one that plays and the one that, you know, is the tactician. Magic Johnson will quickly get back into this ball game.
Robinson now 10 for 13 from the free throw line, 30 points on the day. Last 25 seconds of the quarter. And Sean Elliott gets a cheap one out front. Magic 4 out of 5 from the line today. 5 for 6. 19 seconds to play in the third.
Now this should be no problem for Sean Elliott. George Lynch is way too close. He's going to get beat, and Sean Elliott just drives the ball to the basket.
Lakers with one last try. Magic sets up Derek Strong. Magic Johnson down the floor. Derek Strong hits the 2 and says, "That's what I like."
Yo, baby.
Derek Strong hits the jumper at the buzzer. The Lakers led by 2 at halftime. They lead it after 3, 86-74. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. This is the NBA on NBC. Threet and Peeler in the backcourt.
Elden Campbell has not been able to get in this game, but makes a nice feed to the cutters. That's something that the Lakers worked on yesterday, was their spacing and having people go to the hoop. And when you have people go to the hoop, the defense has to respect it or they get scored on.
Robinson. Campbell won't go for the foul.
The Lakers have stuck with their game plan of making David Robinson beat them. No dribble here.
I think he dribbled it. I don't think that you and the referee's on the same page.
If the ball hits your body and then bounces, that's your dribble. You can't put it down again.
Somebody hit it.
Robinson.
Charles Smith kept it alive, and David Robinson put the cap on it.
Robinson with 36.
Bump the defender off. Dump it right down in.
You know, you're the first one to say that basketball is not a contact sport, and then you want to nail someone.
Children, it's Easter. Make nice, okay? 9 minutes to play here in the fourth. Lakers with a 6-point lead. Sedale 3. Got it. Give Magic another assist.
The Lakers are so guard heavy.
Vlade's done a better job at least making David Robinson get a little bit further out on the floor. He hasn't been able to contain him. Robinson just missed that one.
Spurs' problem today is there's been no one to help David Robinson.
But But this is the strategy that the Lakers are using defensively against David that I think works best against the big scoring big men. Let them have their big numbers. Don't let the other guys beat you. San Antonio needs a timeout.
17 for Divac with that jump shot. 10-point lead for the Lakers. Timeout on the floor. 7:36 to play in regulation. You're watching the NBA on NBC. Person has all 11 San Antonio points off the bench. Person takes it to the hoop.
That's a rare trip to the basket for Chuck Person. He normally just stays out on the perimeter, but they gave him a lane.
With Campbell and Vlade not having strong games, particularly Vlade in the second half, the Spurs haven't been able to take advantage of it.
He has.
David has, but I'm talking about the team as a whole. They're still down 6 and have not been in control of this game since the opening quarter.
He had done a very good job getting David Robinson to play further from the hoop, but with 5, he just gives this one up, and that's 38 on the afternoon for David Robinson to get control of the game. So what San Antonio has to do is make the Lakers a perimeter team and shoot over the top of the defense.
Shot clock at 6, outside for Peeler for 3. Third three-pointer of the afternoon for Anthony Peeler. 95-86 Lakers.
Penetration and dish, and the Spurs continue to double team late in the shot clock.
Del Negro tries to answer with a 3, and Divac has the rebound.
Huge advantage from the bench. Peeler has all 3 of his field goals or three-point shots. Vlade.
And another excellent setup by Magic Johnson. To play in regulation. The Lakers lead it. We're coming back to the Great Western Forum in just a moment.
Pushing Tony Kukoc. Excuse me, Rookie of the Year. I'm sorry, I'll get it straight one of these days.
By then, he'll be into his 3rd or 4th year.
14 points on the day for Elliott. Make it 15.
That was a much-needed three-point play by San Antonio. Back to within shouting distance of 6.
Lakers have Magic, Van Exel, Eldon Campbell, Anthony Peeler, and Eddie Jones on the floor. Magic for 3.
Lakers are 7 for 10 from behind the line tonight. They're one of the worst teams on a percentage-wise season long, 25th in the league, three-point percentage, but tonight, over 70%.
David Robinson keeps coming. 40 for Robinson. 9-point Laker lead, 4:15 to play. Eddie Jones. And now the Lakers are putting it away from long range.
Point game.
Avery Johnson converts underneath. 5 straight three-pointers from the Lakers.
But all of the Lakers' threes have been basically uncovered. I mean, these guys have had plenty of time to get the shot, to get the rhythm. They're going right at Magic Johnson with Sean Elliott.
Elliott's jumper over Magic, no. Lynch with the rebound.
He took the easy way out. You want to drive Magic Johnson. Use your quickness to get by and get to the basket.
Magic. Thought he got fouled by Person. 3-on-2. Elliott. Screamed by George Lynch, and Elliott will go to the line.
What the Lakers don't want is a stoppage of the clock as you look at Magic Johnson saying, don't you remember me? I used to get that call.
I chuckled when you said he thought he got fouled. If you ever played a pickup game with Magic, he either scored on his basket or if he missed, it was always a foul.
Here's the one-on-one coverage for Magic. Can't convert the left-handed hook. Rebound. Block. Tapped up. No. Kept alive. Magic comes away with it.
Now there's 3 spectacular efforts by David Robinson to get the ball, and they got nothing. And Del Harris wants a timeout.
Did play in the playoffs, but Moses Malone and the Rockets hammered him.
2 minutes to play.
They got the stop they wanted. Now the Spurs are looking for a score, and Del Negro delivers.
He has 12, 105-97.
8-point game in which the Lakers want to use the clock, but they can't start to stand around.
Under a minute and a half. Sean Elliott. Couple of fakes. Doesn't go down. Loose ball. George Lynch has it.
Now, Sean Elliott had it twice and just couldn't control it. He made a big move to get there. That really hurt San Antonio.
And Magic runs right over to Van Exel and says, bring it to me in the post. Come right here, big guy.
He wants to get fouled. What he's going to try to do is create a situation where he gets fouled against a tough person. They got to get it up.
Lynch at the buzzer. That's a 10-point lead again.
Magic's just conducting the orchestra at this point.
Fans are on their feet with 40 seconds to play. Jones back to Van Exel, gives it a second try. Batted out to Magic.
Now the Lakers just wanted it more. After the first quarter of play, they seemed to make all of the hustle plays, come up with the energy at the right time, and the crowd who finally got here now on their feet, wishing that they had more time to watch the game.
The Spurs had won 4 straight and 9 of the last 10 against the Lakers. Not this afternoon. We'll have a post-game interview coming your way in just a moment. 107-97. The Lakers beat the Spurs. We're coming back to Inglewood right after this.
Which one, Rob?
Yeah.
Magic, what kind of confidence did this give your team to beat one of the elite teams in the West? It's a team that some of your guys thought they couldn't beat.
Well, it means a lot in terms of our confidence that we can play with anybody, and that when we had to beat a team like San Antonio because we hadn't done that at home. Houston has come in here, beat us. Other teams have done the same. So this will give us the confidence that's been missing in terms of a quality, one of the best teams in the West.
Okay, congratulations. Big win for this young team and you as well. Greg?
All right, Anna, once again, our final score, the Lakers 107, San Antonio 97. Coming up next, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls continue their quest for the mystical 70-win season. They travel to Orlando to take on Penny Hardaway and the Orlando Magic. That's coming up next right here on NBC Sports. For Steve Jones, Bill Walton, and Hannah Storm, I'm Greg Gumbel. Thanks for joining us, and once again, a happy Easter to you, everyone. This has been a presentation of the NBA on NBC.